Hey Math Kids, today we're going to talk about different types of data, and we're in Chapter 11, Section C. And so we're going to start with categorical variables. A categorical variable describes a particular quantity or characteristic. The data is divided into categories, and the information collected is called categorical data. So some examples would be if you ask people what computer OS they're running, like operating system, we could say Windows or Mac or Linux, etc. Obviously there's other ones out there, but another one would be gender. Categories could be male, female, non-binary. We can even break those down into more specific gender categories, but that's just to give you an idea. So all those are considered categorical variables. Now, we also have quantitative variables. So we have quantitative variables. A quantitative variable has a numerical value. The information collected is called numerical data. Quantitative variables can either be discrete or continuous. So let's talk about that. So quantitative just means it's number, right? So it can be like height, weight, age, number of siblings. Those are just all examples. Now, there's different types. So discrete and continuous. So a discrete quantitative variable, or just discrete variable, takes exact number values. It is usually a result of counting. Okay, so for example, if we had the number of apricots on a tree, so number of apricots on a tree, we would get whole number answers. We would just say 1, 2, 3. It's usually a result of counting. And then we could also say number of players at a tennis game. Number of tennis players. Okay, now moving on to continuous. A continuous quantitative variable, or just continuous variable, can take any numerical value within a certain range. It is usually a result of measuring. So we already have a few of these. So if we measured somebody's height, if we measured somebody's weight, those would fall into continuous. Now if we're doing age, and we're just age, depending on how we do age, we can actually make it fit in one or the other. But number of siblings is for sure going to fit here. Now the book gives the example of, for a continuous, the time taken to run a 100-meter race. So that would be, we'd have a large range of values that we could do for that. And then the distance of each hit in baseball. The distance of each hit in baseball. Okay. Now there's only one example, so we're gonna do that. Okay. It says classify each variable as categorical, discrete, or continuous. So categorical, discrete, continuous. Okay. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to read the statement and then just write it where it's at. So the number of heads when 3 coins are tossed. So if we do 3 coins, we look at how many heads there are. We're just going to count 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. Since it's the result of counting, it's going to be discrete. So part A, which is number of heads with 3 coins. All right, B, the brand of toothpaste used by the students in the class. Because this is similar to the Windows, Mac, Linux situation, so it's going to be categorical. So brand of toothpaste, because there's no number really attached to that, we would just say Colgate or Tom's or whatever the other ones are. And then the last one is the heights of a group of 15-year-old children. Quantitative is a number, but continuous is generally measurement. And so since we're measuring height, so measuring height. Since we're measuring, we're going to say continuous. So once again, discrete is often, almost always related to counting. Counting. Categorical is no numbers. And then continuous is going to be measurement. All right, that's the gist of that. If you need additional help, please come to Math Lab. Until then, calculator.